Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Indy promotion WWE 2K25. This is going back to the PLE episode that I have, recorded last video that was last Wednesday, and there's been some additions added on. Like I've mentioned, I did buy the DLCs for the other superstars. So Jordan Grace, Penta, Stephanie Vankira, the Motor City Machine Guns, Wyatt Six, and all that jazz. So I will kind of prove that. So Wyatt Six is in it. DLC Wyatt 6, so we can go up and delete that. So we have the DLC Wyatt 6 in SmackDown, like they are. So they are there. I just realized that Jakara Jackson is no longer a WWE superstar, so I did look on that roster as well and changed her to the Indy promotion. Don't know if she still wrestles, but just add another female into that women's division. We have New Age Outlaws. I added them to the promotion as well, just to add another tag team. So we have Jesse James and Billy Gunn, New Age Outlaws. And then Motor City Machine Guns to SmackDown. And that is about it when it comes to the DLCs. Added into the brands and stuff. So we will move on to the next show. We're at Raw number 1, where we got Bayley and Rhea to start off in an Extreme Rules match. Bayley gets the title. Becky and Naomi. Becky wins over Naomi. The New Day retain the titles against the New Day. Or the Judgment Day retain against the New Day. Chad Gable wins against Sheamus. Asuka, Kyrie, and Io win over Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne. Then we got Lyra versus Ivy, and Lyra wins. Then AJ Styles beats CM Punk for the heavyweight title, or retains it. So we got New Year's Evil for NXT. And Thea Hill beats Tatum Paxley. We got Brooks and Charlie beating Andre Chase and Josh Briggs. Tony D'Angelo beating Sean Spears. Santos, he did AAA, so he's still part of WWE. Or he came back to WWE, did a surprise entrance in AAA, and just added him to NXT because he is not assigned to a certain brand. So he may be assigned to AAA, and that's what he does. And so I put him down NXT. And he's over Noam Dar. And so now he has the North American Championship. Wendy Chu wins the North American Championship against Kalani Jordan for the women, or retains it. Ethan Page retains the title. So we have my show. We got Tyler Breeze, Baron Corbin, Kommander, Ace Caveman, Sonya Dakota, the Good Brothers against Gallus, Isla Dawn versus the newly acquired Victoria, Jakara Jackson against Tegan Knox. Then we got Joe Coffey, Karrion, and Carlito. Main event is tag team titles up for grabs. So, and that is the newly acquired Gangster Trio. So we got Brett and Danny Funky with Rick Diaz in the back against Authors of Pain. So we got Kommander Ace winning over Tyler Breeze and Baron Corbin, or Bishop Dyer, I should say. Dakota winning over Sonya. The Good Brothers winning over Gallius. Isla Dawn over Victoria. Tegan Knox over Jakara. And we got Karrion Kross over Joe Coffey and Carlito. And Authors of Pain are the newly acquired tag team champions against the Funky Brothers. We got SmackDown New Year's Revolution. So we got Chika Fatu against Shinsuke and Carmelo, with Fatu winning. Street Profits beat MFT tag team. Jade Cargill, Bianca winning over Peeper Niven and Alba Fire. Chelsea Green over Minchin for the title. BFAB over Zelina. And I did add Aleister Black. So he is in SmackDown. And then Penta's at Raw. So all the superstars that were in those packs that I recently got for like the recent superstars and everything else are added. So Cody Rhodes over Solo. Damian Priest over Drew McIntyre for the main event. Then we got Raw. So we got Styles over Jey Uso. Sammy over Chad Gable. Stephanie, newly acquired, even though she's been with the company, but newly acquired in this episode, against or over Bailey. Lyra and Roxanne over Ivy and Becky. Rhea over Liv. And we got NXT, where we have Sol Ruka over JC Jane, Tatum, and Thea. Jada over Lola. Santos and Noam over Brooks and Lexus. Charlie over Channing and Andre Chase. And then Ethan Page over Tony D'Angelo. Come to my show, and we got Karrion Kross over Carlito. Ace Caveman over Ralph Rufus. Tegan Knox over Valhalla and Indy Hartwell. Victoria over Jakara Jackson. Scarlett over Akira. Isla Dawn over Cora Jade. And Tyler Breeze and Bishop Dyer over New Age Outlaws. We got to start off with The Miz and Carmelo Hayes over Damian Priest and Kevin Owens. Ilya Dragunov over Apollo Crews. Nia Jax over Alexa Bliss. Candice LeRae over Charlotte Flair. And the Kabuki Warriors over Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Alright, another episode of Raw with Sami Zayn over Sheamus. Liv and Roxanne over Maxine and Raquel. Kairi Sane over Ivy Nile. The Judgment Day over The New Day. And Rhea over EO. So, we have Chuckles in a one-on-one over Lexis King. This is the first time seeing them in a one-on-one, as they are a tag team in NXT. And Chuckles wins over Lexis King. Sol Ruka over Tatum Paxley. Ethan Page over Josh Briggs and Obafemi. Ola Vice over Nikita Lyons. And JC Jane over Thea Hale. We got Victoria over Isla Dawn. Scarlett over Dakota Kai. Blair Davenport over Sonya Deville. Bishop Dyer over what he's been tag teaming with, Tyler Breeze. Shotzi and Elektra over Kaden and Katana. Tegan Knox over Gigi Dolan. And Chris Danger over Karrion Kross and Joe Coffey. So we got another episode of SmackDown, and we got Shinsuke over Jacob Fatu, Charlotte over Candice LeRae, Uncle Howdy over Kevin Owens for a promo, and then Keanu James over B-Fab, and Tiffany Stratton with the undisputed title on the line, beating Bianca Belair. We got this next episode of Raw here. Io Sky over Stephanie Valkyrie. Then we got Dirty Dom over Chad Gable. Javon Evans over Sami Zayn. Kairi Sane over Ivy Nile. And main event with Liv and Naomi over Asuka and Becky. So we are simulating. We got Wendy Chu over Lola Vice. Thea Hill over Tatum Paxley. Charlie and Noam over the family, even though I deleted the family in the game. But they still tag team, they still show up for each other. But Tony and Channy together, losing to Noam and Charlie. Then we got JC Jane and Fallon Henley over Sol Ruka and Jakara Jackson. Chuckles with a draw no contest with Lexis King. Now we move to the Jeremy Crazy Indy promotion with Tegan Knox beating Victoria. The Authors of Pain Tag Team Champions over Gallus of Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. Indy Hartwell over Cora Jade. Tyler Breeze and Bishop Dyer winning over Kommander and Road Dogg Jesse James. Blair Davenport over Valhalla. Scarlett losing to Shayna Baszler. And Karrion Kross beating Chris Danger. We got SmackDown here. Cody Rhodes over Kevin Owens. Shinsuke over Carmelo, Trick, and Uncle Howdy. Jacob Fatu over Ilya Dragunov. Piper and Elba over Nia and Lash. Main event Charlotte over Jade Cargill. And then we got this Royal Rumble 20 and 30 for the men. All right. We're going to... So it doesn't say... That's what it says. Oh, okay. So, Randy won that one. Eve Torres won the women's. How does that work? Alright. Jacob Fatu wins over Shinsuke for the U.S. title. Rhea Ripley beats Io Sky. Charlotte over Jade Cargill. Damian Priest over Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed title. The Judgment Day keeps the titles over the New Day. Asuka and Kairi, the Kabuki Warriors, beat Ivy and Becky. Tiffany over Bianca as Tiffany retains the title. Then Randy Orton, as we saw, won the 30-man Royal Rumble. So we got Liv over Stephanie. Then we got Sammy over Ludwig and Logan Paul. Naomi over Bailey. Lyra over Maxine. Roxanne over Io Sky. So we got Ethan Page over Josh. Nikita and Lola over Sol and Tatum. Charlie and Noam over Andre, Chase, and Santos. Thea Hale over JC Jane. And Brooks Jensen and Lexus King over the Tortures. So I guess right now they're not necessarily going for the tag team titles because there is no tag team to go with it. So we'll have to try and get a tag team to get up to NXT or move someone down to eventually get that to see who can move on to the top. And then that's, I mean, at this rate, that could be the finale. But overall, I'd like to see a couple of single superstars to get up to at least like SmackDown or Raw or somewhere. But who knows? But we have Dakota Kai over Scarlett, Carlito over Karrion Kross, Elektra Lopez and Shotzi over Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, Ace Caveman over Wesley, Tegan Knox over Indy Hartwell, Tyler Breeze over BDE Brandon Collins, and Shayna Baszler over Blair Davenport. SmackDown with Nia Jax over Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green over BFAB with the promo, 2-on-2 MFT over Street Profits, Fraxium over Los Garza, and LA Knight over Damian Priest. We got Vengeance Day, where Demon Slayer and Chuckles win. I would imagine this is the end of the rivalry because there's no R's. So Demon and Chuckles win over the rivalry of Brooks and Lexus. Sol Ruka and Jakara beating Fallon Henley and JC Jane. Then we have a 4-way tornado tag where the team of Charlie, Andre, Santos, and Sean beats Channing, Noam, Oba, and Tony. Interesting. And then the main event is Lola Vice over Nikita Lyons. We have another episode of Raw, but before we get too far, I just want to make sure there's a event. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more episodes, and then it gets to be April again, and that's when it starts over. All right. So we will simulate Bailey over Io Sky, the Judgment Day over Alpha Academy. We got Chad Gable over Sami Zayn, and Ivy Nile and Roxanne over the Kabuki Warriors. Then we got Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch with a draw, no contest. The main event. We got NXT with Ethan Page over Obafemi, Sean Spears with Josh Briggs as well. Nikita Lyons winning over Fallon Henley. We got Noam Dar over Andre Chase and Brooks Jensen. Tony D'Angelo over Sean Spears. And Lexus King and Charlie Dempsey losing to Santos and Channing Stacks. Then we got my show We got Karrion Kross over Chris Danger. Blair Davenport over Tegan Knox. Ace Caveman over Giovanni Vinci and Brody Hunter. Dakota Kai over Scarlett. Gallius over Authors of Pain. Gigi Dolan over Shayna Baszler. And Baron Corbin over Tyler Breeze. Bishop Dyer. We got triple threat to start off with Damian Priest over Solo and LA. Chelsea Green over BFAB. Jade Cargill over Zelina Vega. Kiana James over Lash Legend. And Charlotte Flair over Tiffany Stratton. We got Raw with Liv Morgan over Becky Lynch. Chad Gable over Tyler Bates. Roxanne Perez over Naomi. Lyra Valkyria over Ivy. And Rhea over Stephanie. NXT, we got Briggs over D'Angelo. Thea Hale over Solaruka. And we got Lola Vice over Nikita Lyons. Channing Stacks and Noam Dar over Brooks Jensen and Andre Chase. And Chuckles winning over Lexis King with both of their people in their corners. We got mine, and we got Shayna Baszler over Gigi Dolan. Oro Mensah over Ace Caveman. Katana and Kaden over Shotzi and Elektra. Tyler Breeze over BDE Brandon Collins. Scarlett with a self promo. Karrion Kross over Carlito. And Blair Davenport over Tegan Knox. We're going to simulate. We got Jacob Fatu over Uncle Howdy. Street Profits over MFT tag team with Tama and Tonga. Candice LeRae over Jade Cargill. Chelsea Green over Lash Legend. Damian Priest over Roman Reigns for the main event. All right. So we have some interesting matchups. We got first the mid card, and this will be in the next episode, but I'm just showing the card at the end of this episode. We got Rick Diaz, part of the Gangster Trio, against Ace Caveman for the mid title. We got Karrion Kross versus Carlito. Tegan Knox versus Indy Hartwell. Rivalry match with the Women's Championship on the line, Scarlett versus Dakota Kai. Triple threat with Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, and Blair Davenport. A ladder four-way tag of... I see. Okay, so it's Angels of Wrestling, which is Sophia May and Marissa. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Jakara Jackson and Solaruka. And then Valhalla and Shayna Baszler. And then the main event is Tyler Breeze versus Bishop Dyer in the main event. So that is that. We'll see what kind of rivalries we got here. So we got two active rivalries with Becky Lynch and Liv, Rhea and Io. Tuesday is D'Angelo and Santos, Tortures and NXT Outsiders. We got Bishop Dyer and Tyler Breeze, and then Scarlet and Dakota. And SmackDown is Cargill and LeRae, and Green and BFAB. And Brooks Jensen and Lexis King lost in the previous one in NXT. And kind of the last one we had recorded was Bishop Dyer and Carlito, which it will be Bishop Dyer and Tyler Breeze. So, like I mentioned, new superstars, even though some of them haven't been used yet. Like Jordan Grace is in it, Aleister Black is in it. Obviously saw the New Age Outlaws that I added with the tag team division to add it to make it like 5. And then Gangster Trio is the new kind of stable with 3 people. You got the tag team and the individual to add to the tag team division and to try to move up to the NXT level. We got Rick Diaz now going to make his singles debut in this PLE, and Penta's with Raw, Jordan's with SmackDown, Motor City Machine Guns is in SmackDown and stuff like that, but there's 50 people per rosters, and you have so many limited amount of slots, so it gets kind of hard to fill in all those slots. So we could adjust to 9 matches, but I think 7 is a perfect amount, but I'm going to stretch it to 9 because we have 50 people within this roster. We'll kind of look at the power rankings. We got Ace Caveman, that is the mid. He's had it for a while. I think this is his 3rd PLE that he's defending it. He's defended a couple of times before, so if he retains, he's going to go up to the main card where Bishop Dyer is and all them. Like Aiden Sky's up there as well. And we got Blair Davenport, Wolfgang up there, Shayna Baszler, Tyler Breeze is up there with his feud with Bishop Dyer, Shotzi, Elektra being the tag team. Cora Jade's up here. And we'll see where everyone else is kind of sitting. Alright, so these guys have moved up from the bottom. So Danny Funky's down there kind of still, but Rick Diaz and Brett Funky are making their way up. And so is the New Age Outlaws. The bottom is Valhalla and Hornswoggle. And Akira's down there. Hopefully she works her way back up. We'll kind of look at the divisions. So we got... thought I moved Aiden Sky, but I don't... Maybe I didn't. Because I think he hasn't won it again, so he was close, but he didn't win it, so I didn't move him up. Which, towards the end here, like I said, if Ace Caveman wins against Rick Diaz, then he is going to move up to this section of good wrestlers up there. So Karen Cross is the #1 contender on this list. Chris Danger, Tyler Breeze, Brendan Collins, Carlito, and Joe Coffey, so it's the rotation of that. Then we got a big stack of the women's, even though she is down in the power rankings, but she is #2 in contenders, and 3 is Lily. These two have won the title at least once, but haven't won it again. And kind of like lowering the standard a little bit. If you win it twice, no matter how long it takes in between, but if you have it for like 6 months, which is 3 PLEs, it should be you set up to the higher level. So, and that is Literally, the only team that's done it is the Tortures that is up in NXT already. So, the Angels of Wrestling haven't won it again. So, once they win it again, they can move up because they've won it already. Ace Kidman's had it for a while, and all these guys are here. And Brody Hunter, I'm surprised he hasn't been moving up as much. He was kind of a force when it came to up here a little bit, like kind of in the middle, but now with everyone being in this big pot, it's kind of hard. But once I think it gets established of who is who, and that group of people gets shrunk a little bit, you can find who is gonna be who. Okay. Okay. So, that is that for this episode, and hopefully you appreciate the episode, and hope everything is going well for you, and have a good one.